2004, JSDD's WAE Center has provided wellness, arts, and enrichment programming to adults with developmental disabilities and autism spectrum disorders.
I think it was more about providing peace of mind for parents whose adult children with developmental disabilities would outlive them. So it was about what the family wanted, what the parents wanted for their adult child with a disability. Now it's the focus has shifted to what does the person with a disability want? How do they want to live their life?
I've done art my whole life, but I've done much better since I came here.
Members come in search of many things. Often they know exactly what they want to study and learn, but what they don't count on is the rich community that they become a part of.
I know it sounds like a cliche, but it really feels like a family. It is a family. You know, we come here every day and we all take care of each other, and that's not just staff taking care of members, it's everyone taking care of everyone.
That community forms amongst members, staff, visiting artists, and facilitators.
The great thing about the WAE Center is they're in the process with other people. It is the constant support, being there and supporting people and respecting their space and what they have to say and including them in the process. People come as they are from the environment they've grown up with, their own DNA, right? And they adjust, they adapt, they find the resources here that suit them initially, and within that they then begin to stretch. That's, I guess that's how dreams are made.
There are celebrations, holidays, theater performances, music, poetry, outings and adventures, individual and group classes, all of which draw people closer together and help people to determine their interests and talents as they discover the spark within. This vibrant community of perpetual motion and interaction was stopped in its tracks in March of 2020, when all day programs were required to close due to the COVID-19 pandemic and quarantine. What followed was a complicated pivot that would allow members, JSDD residents, and staff to reconnect, to see one another, and eventually to restore their daily activities and sense of community. This is the place and time where Way to Connect was born.
All right, so I'm gonna try one more Darius Rucker impression and let me know how the sound is, okay?
That's better.
I only wanna be with you. Is that better?
Much better.
Right.
I was told that, well, we've got to do something. We want to engage our members. We want to, reach out to them. And the first thing that we did was to make phone calls and to see how people were doing. It's a very person-to-person role. And then all of a sudden you're going to be removed and on a screen with someone. And how do you make that work?
Way to Connect shifted our staff, members, and residents to an online platform, keeping everybody safe and engaged.
How familiar were you with Zoom before the pandemic?
Not at all.
Had never heard of it, honestly.
I had never heard of Zoom before, prior to the pandemic. It was totally new experience.
How familiar were you with Zoom before the pandemic began?
Nothing. I think I had heard of it. That's about it.
it's really important to connect with the human-to-human contact with people. But the pandemic really didn't allow for that anymore. So trying to figure out a new way of doing it and to do it quickly. So it was out of necessity more than anything.
There was a steep learning curve. And still, the gains were consistent, and the rewards were evident.
Look, I like your art class. I like art class. I came to art class a lot. It's inspired me today. So, the reason why I'm here. And I love Zoom.
Jamal, that's great. Thank you, Jamal.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel in my heart is.
Thank you for sharing that, Jamal. That helps make my day a little better hearing that. Applause and thank you, Adam.
And so it was a challenge, but we figured it out.
You know, nobody really knew what we were doing or what was going to happen. You know, questions constantly came up. Why did this happen? How do we fix this for so-and-so? We just kind of try to improve the whole experience until we got the hang of it.
There was a lot of we can't see you, can you adjust your lighting? Can you sit with the lighting in front of you because the lighting behind you is blinding us? Can you turn the TV down in the background? Yeah. I mean, it was all of it. It was the conversations were endless. We spent a lot of time working on the technology end of it.
Mostly it's intimidating. You know, I always say we are Flintstones in a Jetson world. But as soon as it was there, we found out how easy it was, so we were good.
We've grown a tremendous amount since that part, and we've had to develop ways of working together. You know, our staff were working remotely. Our members were at home with their families. Did they have people who were going to support them? So that was just constant conversations about what do we need to do to make it different, and there was a lot of learning on the go.
In teaching via Zoom, new skills grew, conversing, learning to share space and time in a completely new way. And we all learned together. Classes included creativity with nature, conversation group, drumming, kitchen table printmaking, healing meditation, and many more. What started with a few hours a week grew to a few hours a day, and then full days of programming. Way to Connect has proven to be a compelling way to bring people together, learn, laugh, and live our best possible lives every day.
There were so many concerns, I think, that people experienced during this time, and it was stressful and scary, that having something that was a little bit of familiar was really, really important. We understood that we had to kind of shift, and the community did it together. It just was certainly something we're going to always remember.